So the name Murdoch is one of the best known names in media history. Tonight, Elisabeth Murdoch will deliver her MacTaggart lecture here at the Edinburgh International TV Festival. She'll discuss the opportunities available with digital platforms and how content producers can engage more with their audiences. Let's now find out what the delegates made of the 2012 MacTaggart lecture. So Steve, you're a regular visitor to the festival. You've seen many MacTaggarts. What do you make of this year's?
Well, it must count as one of the more interesting ones. You know, she pointed out she's the third Murdoch to do it.
Yep.
But unlike the other two who presented themselves as kind of vigorous, aggressive outsiders, she tried to do precisely the opposite. I thought it was notable that she criticised her brother at least 3 times. You know, the lines about, you know, profit without purpose is the road to ruin. 3 times she did that, and 3 times she said the BBC is fantastic. Well, you wouldn't have heard a Murdoch say that before.
I think Elisabeth Murdoch was a really inspirational speaker. She had a lot to say, a lot of interesting things to say, raised some really valid points about where the industry should look to going forward, and working for the BBC, I completely agreed that we were the leaders in all the Olympic coverage.
Well, I thought it was quite extraordinary and really rather impressive. Here was Elisabeth Murdoch essentially rebuking her own brother.
What she's tried to tap into in this speech is about a need for a higher purpose. You know, if broadcasting isn't just about making money, what is it about?
Well, it was good to see a woman for a start after so many years, so that alone should be applauded.
I have seen a lot of MacTaggarts, and I remember her James Murdoch's 3 years ago, and it was quite explosive. But I remember thinking that some of his statements seemed just slightly too simplistic. I mean, they were done to, you know, lob a grenade into the room in a way.
And who would you like to see giving the lecture next year?
I think it would be good to actually hear from someone from the audience, actually, since the audience were invoked time and time again as the sovereign deities of what everyone in this business is.